Hello, it's Dana and I'm in Oxford today. This place has been my home for 3 years and there's so much to love here. Oxford has a lot to offer. It's full of great things like cultural diversity in art and history and music. And of course my favorite part, the people. There are lots of historic landmarks to see around Oxford, and I really advise you to see as many as you can when you go on a regular tour of the city. But I also like things that are different. Things like little alleys and hidden spaces, and artwork that isn't usually noticed. Buildings that don't conform, and the ones that send a message. Today I am going to a very quirky place on the Woodstock Road, and I've asked one of my favorite people to share the experience with me. So I'm here to show Angie why this is one of the best things to see in Oxford.
It's got bird shit on it.
The Investcorp building was opened in 2015 and it was designed by Zaha Hadid architects. It's an extension of Oxford University's Middle East Centre and it functions as a library and an archive for books and papers about the Middle East. We went inside to check out the main design features.
Fantastic sound in here. How does it work?
Design feature 1, acoustics. So it sounds obvious, but acoustic control is important. The walls of the ground floor coffee area are lined with perforated timber panels. They kind of absorb the sound, and there's a fabric in here as well. It's like a felt fabric that helps absorb the sound even more so that it stops being deflected. And that's why it's so quiet in here. Structure.
Donna, what is important about this V?
It holds up the entire first floor. Floors are normally supported by walls, and that's the case here on the back side of the building. But on the front side, the first floor is entirely supported by one V-shaped column. And that's why the ground floor can have a full glass facade with a front view of the garden. No obstructions. The concrete used for the column is very smooth and it's called fair-face concrete. The first thing I asked myself when I saw the roof was, how is it held up? So I did some research. A timber structure that looks like a giant ribcage sits on the first floor slab. Timber was used because it's easier to shape into this geometry and it's less expensive. It's covered with an external cladding made of 2mm stainless steel sheets. This is not a lump of concrete. It's most beautiful, most beautiful. Environmental design. It's really difficult to make environmental design interesting, but I have to show you something. If you've ever wondered how you can breathe clean and fresh air in a room that's underground, the answer is good ventilation. Fresh air is pulled in from the outside into an underground concrete labyrinth. It picks up the ground temperature as it moves through the labyrinth, and then it's extracted out from air vents placed underneath these chairs. I can feel it. And of course, the auditorium was full of acoustic panels. And that's because sound control is really important in auditoriums. The stairs. To me, the stairs look like this incredibly curvy artistic sculpture just sitting at the entrance of the building. I heard a rumor that Zaha's inspiration for these stairs came from seashells, but who knows? Lighting and interiors. In the 1960s, Oscar Niemeyer proposed a design for this building with porthole windows. It was never built, but the design may have been inspired by that. The library on the first floor has 25 skylights shaped as teardrops. The skylights are needed to bring in natural light because there are no windows on these walls. And speaking of walls, these ones are extraordinary. They're designed as an optical illusion to make them seem closer than they really are. One last thing. To answer Angie's question,
Why is there bird shit all over the building?
I'm going to talk about one more design feature, the tree. This is a giant sequoia tree that's over 100 years old. It was there a long time before the building and it's protected. The design consequently was made to curve around the tree and respect its space, and they even put a drainage system under the foundations to give the tree roots enough moisture. But pigeons really like this tree and they nest here, so that's why there's birch all over the building. Final conclusion. I absolutely adore this building. It's a physical manifestation of her ideas and creativity. You can touch Zaha's ideas and creativity. The experience of what it feels like to be inside is incredible. If you're ever in Oxford, please visit and let me know what you think in the comments.
It's really good, isn't it?